What's good? What's good? What's good with everybody, man? We got a one on our way. Pretty much the garbage bowl between the Colts and the Raiders. It's going to be a tough one, man. I mean, at this point, what are the Raiders playing for? What are the Colts playing for? They got a head coach who has never done anything as far as coaching in the NFL before. They're definitely tanking. The Raiders, I mean, I guess that's the plan, but we're going to find out here soon because if they lose this one, then it's definitely a wrap. A lot's going to be changing, man. But what's good with everybody? E Maney in the building. What's up with you, man? Richard Schneider. They took notes from Johnny Depp's cheeks. Farron was good with you, man. He says Raiders. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's hard. It's hard to be. It's hard to be a Raiders fan right now. It's hard to be a Raiders fan. We got too much talent to be in the position we're in. But look, are we looking at the draft already? SVT in the building. Let's get this L. Yeah, I feel it. What is it at this point, y'all? What is it at this point? I've been waiting to talk to y'all. I just want to get straight into it. What is it at this point? What is the season? What is the Raiders season? Are they tanking? Are we tanking? Was this intentional, or is it because we started off so bad that we're going to start tanking? I just want to talk about that. We'll talk about the game here shortly, but at the end of the day, bro, what is this game really? If we win the game, it doesn't say we're good. It doesn't put us back on track. Like I feel like you're supposed to win this game. Let's get straight into it, y'all. Too slow to bum. He says we better lose. May as well go for the number one pick in the draft. Look, I'm not about tanking, but at the same time, what's the point? Well, what's the point? Todd Davis in the building. What up, Ray? Good afternoon. Shout out to Todd Davis. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Yes, sir. Mike Morris was good with it. What's up, brother? Appreciate you pulling up, man. Yo, y'all let me know. Do you guys think we intentionally started tanking? Or are we tanking? What do you guys think, man? I need y'all to tell me. Shout out to Nick Nack. I want Bryce Young, he official. I got to check him out, man. I got to check him out. But honestly, I want to go stack the defense. I definitely want to stack the defense. We'll start talking about the Colts here shortly, man. Ruben in the building, ready to tape. Shout out to you, brother, from the 801-818. Shout out to you, man. Raider Nation for life. Appreciate you. Dodgers Everything says we trash. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Can we recoup next year, though? Can we recoup? What can we do? Jalen Carter, D tackle, first round. Hey, let me know if it's echoing or if the audio's cool. I might be talking a little too loud. Jalen Carter, D tackle, first round. I'm not mad at that. As long as he's healthy. As long as he's 100% healthy. ONT6, shout out to ONT6, man. Where you been at, brother? He says, right, all I know, we deserve better as a fan base. We definitely do. Without a doubt. Price is too small. You mean Bryce is too small? Let's tank. They are tanking on purpose. But this is what I'm asking, though. Too slow. Did they start tanking because did they start tanking after the season already started? And we were already, 1-4, 2-4, something like that? Or was it the plan in the beginning of the season to tank? That's what I'm asking. Like, before the season started, did this regime plan on tanking? Or was it because we started the way we did? Yard moves make it seem like we are tanking. Exactly, Mike. Stroud. I hear some people say get Stroud. I hear some people say get Bryce. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Steve Raiders for life, quarterback, first round, dual threat. I hear you. Mondo Reyes, what up, though? Shout out to Mondo pulling up, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. SVT in the building. He says, we tanking, not intentionally. We just suck, but our schedule was difficult, too. He just said, we just suck. Yo, SVT, you funny as hell, man. Appreciate it. What up, Ray? When do we get the Redemption Brand Tank Edition camo swag? Hey, I'm gonna have to get that ready. I'm waiting on these shirts. I've been waiting on these shirts, man, but they've been playing with me. Waiting on the sweaters to come in. Bambino says, if we have a top 5 draft pick, I say we move back and pick up more picks. We need lots of help. Bambino, I wouldn't even be mad at that. I definitely wouldn't be mad at that. If we were able to move back, get another pick inside of maybe the second, maybe get another second round pick or even another first with a team that wants to get in the top 5. I believe like teams like the Eagles have 2 first round picks. And if the Eagles end up finishing high, finishing later in the season, late in the playoffs, they're going to have a high draft pick, so they would be able to afford to give up. It would be a good trade, a late first round and probably like a mid round, first round for a top 5 pick. I would love to do that. 2 first rounders, let's get it. I don't see no purpose in tanking. There's no quarterback I would drive with the number 1 pick. Yeah, I'm not really I wouldn't really say tank. Because I'm not a big fan of tanking, right? But I don't want to get into late into the season and then win. I don't want to win week 14 and then win week this week and then week 14 and then maybe week 17 and then we drop in the draft. Like that would be pointless in my eyes. At some point, if you can't make the playoffs, then it's kind of like, why do that? Why hurt yourself at that point? I don't know. They wanted to see where we were at. I think they realized we weren't where they thought we were, so they decided to tank. Yeah. At what point did they decide, though? At what week? Was it like earlier in the year when we were 0-3? Did they decide to start doing it? Or after like our first win and then we lost, and then we're like, oh, yeah, no. Yo, Ray, do all the black caps you're selling have the patch on the side? Some of them have different patches, bro. Some of them do have different patches. But right now, I think all of them that I have are these ones, have the Pillar Series on the side. Yep, have the Pillar Series on the side. And then and then same thing, Pillar Series. Oof. Yo, I done hurt my arm. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with my arm, but I could barely move this thing. Or bend it, I should say. Darren says, I just want to tank. It's a tough decision. It's just because we are losing. Exactly. Pizzle. That's what I think. We're just losing, bro. We're just losing. But shout out everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up if y'all can. We got 50 people up in here. Let's get 50 likes then. Let's see what we can do, man. But let's go ahead and talk about the Colts real quick. Let's just take a quick scan at what we're working with. And I think people are sleeping on the Colts. Let's be honest. People are sleeping on the Colts. I think they are. And I don't want to act like the Colts are just going to be somewhere we can run over, but let's go ahead and take a look. You take a look at the Raiders, and right now we're sitting at the 28th ranked defense, points allowed, and then you talk about the offense, 14 points, ranked 14th for 14 points, ranked 14th. Let me get my words right. Then you look at the Colts. The Colts, 32nd in offense. So the Colts are 32nd in offense. Hopefully they don't go out there and pretty much look like they're the first ranked offense in the league against our defense. And then you talk about their defense is ranked 13th. And it may say 13th, but they're a lot better than that. Let's be honest. They got to deal with the 32nd ranked offense. It's hard to deal with that as a defense. And the fact that they're 13th, I think that's pretty solid. So let's not sleep on the Colts, man. I don't think we can sleep on the Colts right now. Play the second strings in the half if we tank it. Yeah, I don't think they would do that like that, man. Where can I watch the game at? Dofu Sports. Go to Dofu. Is it the eStreams? Dofu Sports. Those are some solid ones right there. Nobody with pride tanks. Exactly, Lurker. Exactly. You feel me? Let's get the top 5 picks, Steve says. Then you have to tank. Then you have to intentionally tank for sure. Met Streams. Okay, shout out to Met Streams. Appreciate that, Bambino. Ant in the building. What's up with you, man? I'm pretty good. Appreciate you asking. How you been, Ant? Julio Coolio in the building. He says it's tiring to talk about this team while McDaniels is the coach. It is tiring. That's why it's really hard to sit there and try to figure out what's going to happen in the future because you don't know what the hell these guys are thinking. Like, you don't know when they started to decide to tank. And the fact that we're sitting at 2-6, it almost makes you feel like you can't trust them with making any further decisions. Meth streams. Okay, yeah. Meth streams. I remember hearing about that. Tomb Raider says, we lost to the Jaguars and put up a donut against the Saints, so we shouldn't be sleeping on any team. Exactly, Tomb Raider. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm in the preseason work for and all with them rookies. Okay. Says 4th and draft. Most definitely, man. Most definitely. You can't sleep on this team, though, man. You definitely can't sleep on this team. Taylor going to have a record day prob. Yeah, exactly. Jonathan Taylor's going to be out there. Sam Ellinger, you talk about a quarterback that has nothing to lose, y'all. a quarterback that has nothing to lose. Then you have a coach that has nothing to lose, basically a whole team. If Jeff Saturday goes out there and want to say, Gus Bradley pitches a good game at defense, they have a good defense. Their defensive line is pretty solid. They're solid against the run. They're solid against the pass. You talk about their top 10 in pass defense in yards. So they're going to be able to come out here and do some things, man. I don't want to sleep on them, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. Some people think we're going to go out there and just win against this team. I don't know why. We haven't been able to do that all season, but let's see what our defense could do against their offense. Definitely going to have to stop Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be a tough one. Shout out to SVT. He says, I think even if we try, we taking the L today as Kirk throws another pick. Dang, Kirk Cousins threw another pick. I got the Bills defense on my fantasy draft or on my fantasy team. You feel me? I got the Bills defense. So let's see what they could do. Let's see what the Bills defense does. Bet 2 interceptions. Let's get it. 2 interceptions. Raiders defender says we're going to win the Super Bowl in 30 years. Yeah, I ain't trying to hear that. They got a great D line. Yeah, they do have a great D line. And I guess Shaq Leonard isn't going to be in there, the linebacker. But still, even without them, this defense has been able to still do some things. I don't think people really realize that we're going to have to go out there and actually do something to win the game. And if we're tanking, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose. So I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but I'm for real. What up, Prez? SVT was good. Shout out to everybody in the building. I didn't see Prez in the building. The Colts are going to play for that coach. Yeah. See, people are going to – yep, you can't sleep on them. Can't sleep on them. Eek, Perriman on inactives. And this is another thing, y'all. That's another thing. You got to talk about the fact that we're going to have rookie linebackers out there. We're going to have rookie linebackers out there, and Masterson and I believe Butler is going to be playing. Correct? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we could see Masterson and both Butler and him. So I wouldn't be surprised if, Taylor does go out there and have a heyday. But the fact is, if this rookie linebacker core steps up today and really wants to go out there and play against a good running team, that would be a lovely thing. That'd be a lovely thing to see. Because then we could actually evaluate the young guys that could potentially move forward on this team, make plays for the future. We haven't had that, really haven't had that opportunity in a long time. So I'd love to see what these young linebackers could do out here. We need to have Sam Webb go out there and play. We got to have Sam Webb go out there and play more, and then have Isaiah out there, Palomeo. He's got to go out there and get some burn and safety too. Why not? What do we have to lose? We need to see what we have in these young dudes so that when we go into this draft, we know where to pick and choose. Is Reggie Ragland playing? He could be. He could be. I don't know if he's going to be – how many snaps he could take. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, though. I really wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. But I would expect him to. 91 and Docker went over there. He's going to come kick Derek Carr's ass. Revenge game. Yo, it is a revenge game for Yannick Ngakoue. You talk about he's already got 4 sacks. That's crazy. Yannick got 4 sacks. But again, Yannick I remember he was annoying. Even though he got sacks, he was annoying. So you talk about they have 3 different defensive linemen with 4 or more sacks, I should say. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see how our offensive line holds up. Last week, they were blocking like crap. The execution wasn't that good. Steve O in the building. He says, what's up, Raider Nation? Raid, if we get an L and McDaniels is fired, would you fire the staff or just replace the head coach? Since Ziegler did pick these guys too, Ziegler has done good in the draft and free agency. Well, what I have to say is I don't think McDaniels is going to get fired. Even if we lose this game, McDaniels is not going to get fired. Mark Davis hasn't fired. We got to remember also, I was talking about this earlier. I was on with Wasted earlier. And you got to talk about the fact that Mark Davis has only been in charge of this team for like 10 years now. Just barely 10 years plus. So you talk about the fact that it's barely been 10 years plus. And he's only had really 2 regimes outside of this one. He had Reggie McKenzie and Jack Del Rio, and he let them do their thing for 4 years. Then you talk about he had a long-term commitment with John Gruden, and he let John Gruden do his thing for 4 years. Now we're on to Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. So he's going to definitely give them more than just this year, without a doubt. And it's already come out, and I'm not surprised. SVT said, I want to see more Coons too. Exactly, SVT. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why is he not getting burned in the first place? Why is he not getting the opportunity to go out there and get some snaps? That's what doesn't make sense to me. Johnny V, he says, first time this season that I'm not looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. That is true. That's why I'm not even gonna lie. That's why it was hard to come up here and do this pregame one. And I was like, man, I don't even know what we're gonna talk about because really, what is there to this game? Not enough substance. Facts. I'm trying to see the Young Bucks get it exactly. This is a perfect opportunity to go out there and have them do something on defense, man. It says both our rookie defensive tackles are inactive. Damn. Hold up. Let me pull up the injury report real quick. Let me pull up this injury report real quick. Your best ability is availability. Oh, this cleat check. Let's see what we got. Cleat check. Here we got the cleat check. Bing bow. Got Devontae Adams in the Vegas Jordan 1s. Okay. That's clean. I see that. Let's see if we can get an injury report. Damn, Tua. Oh, Cousins. What happened? What happened with Cousins? Wow, what was that? What kind of throw was that? Here we go. Injury report. Bling blow. So let's take a look at it. You got the Raiders versus the Colts. You got Denzel Perriman, Jackson Barton, Neil Farrell Jr., Matthew Butler, and Cleveland Farrell. Hold up. How the hell do you get Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler on the injury report, bro? That's ridiculous. How are they on the injury report? So who's going to be playing defensive tackle? Who's going to be playing defensive tackle? That don't even make no sense. What the hell? That makes zero sense. I'm surprised. I'm surprised by that. Let's go ahead and take a look. So we'll have Bilal Nichols out there and Andrew Billings with Kendall Vickers and Kyle Pecco. That's going to be our lineup for this Sunday. Let's go ahead and take a look at this lineup. So on the defense side of the ball, we're going to have Max Crosby, Andrew Billings, Bilal Nichols, and Chandler Jones starting. Luke Masterson and Darian Butler are going to start with Jayon Brown. So we're going to see Luke Masterson and Darian Butler. Curtis Bolton is out here, but I'd rather see the rookies. Curtis Bolton kind of been a journeyman since he's been in the league. Jayon Brown, but I think he's still young. I believe he's still young. Jayon Brown. Rocky Sin matched up with the Meek Robertson, but we'll probably see Anthony Averett. Will we see Sidney Jones today? We got to figure that one out. Trayvon Merrick and Deron Harmon are the starting safeties. I hope to see Isaiah Palomeo. Let's see if we can see those rookies out there. That's good. Those rookies are going to start. Yeah, let's take a look at them rookie linebackers. This is going to be ugly. They're not showing the game in the Bay Area. Dang. I mean, the game it's the garbage bowl. It's damn near the garbage bowl. Right when I look at the future. This would be a perfect time for them rookies, Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell, to come in. Yeah, even if we lose or tank, I still want to see the rookies succeed. Depth is crucial in developing a foundation. Definitely, Steve-O. Definitely. And that's why I want to see Isaiah go out there and be able to get some burn with Luke Masterson, with Darian Butler, get those guys in rotation. It's disappointing to know that Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell Jr. is going to be out. But this is one of the opportunities of, I guess, being on the short end of the season, being able to have these opportunities to have the young guys go out there. Both rookies, yeah, exactly, Kevin Lurker. Cleve, Farrell Jr., and Butler all inactive plus, yep. And I don't even think, what kind of injury is holding Butler and Farrell Jr., though? That's what I'm wondering. Is it actually severe, or is it some type of strategy that they're doing to like save these guys from getting injured or something. I don't know. I think it seems a little excessive. No, Farrell, Butler, or Clee, our run defense going to be exposed. Well, we do have our big guys. We still do have our big guys in Andrew Billings and Bilal Nichols. Then you get Kyle Peckel and Kendall Vickers. Kendall Vickers, I'm not a big fan of him. Haven't really been a big fan of him. But Bilal Nichols, Andrew Billings, let's see what they could do up against this run. We have given 0 playoff win, Carr 9 years. We have to give 6 Super Bowl rings, McDaniels more than 9 weeks. Yeah, I hear you. And it's going to happen no matter what. Now, we already talked about it. And this is another thing I was talking about is when I was on Wasted Talent, shout out to him. Appreciate him letting me come up on the show. But you talk about not wasted talent. I'm tripping. You talk about Mark Davis, and he's only been in charge of this team for 10 years. And then people try to give him the blame for the last 30 years, and you can't really do that. That was all Al Davis by that time. And Mark Davis, through his tenure, he's only had 2 regimes. This is his 3rd regime. Julio Jones, he says, why do people talk about his rings? He got them under Bill B, not as a head coach. He can't lead and doesn't make the right adjustments. I feel you, man. But you do have to give him an opportunity. You can't just fire people in the first year, though, at the end of the day. Deuce Gruden is playing D tackle? Hell no. Ain't no damn way. Look at the Chiefs versus Jags game. The score. What's the score on that thing? What's the score on it? Score on the Jags. Score on the Jags and the Chiefs. Let's see what it is. 20-7. Yeah. The Jags, did y'all know here? Because people want to talk about defense, right? People want to talk about defense, but did y'all know that the Jags put up 38 points on the Chargers? 38 points. Jags put up 38 points on the Chargers, bro. Like, and that's why I'll be like, bro, how the Chargers lose 38-10 to the Jags, but be 5-3? That's just crazy. Their defense is giving up more points than us. Carr gonna play DT, bro. Don't even get me started with that, man. They stay on the injured. What the F? Who's gonna play on the interior? Yeah, Andrew Billings, Bilal Nichols is gonna start, and then I guess Kyle Peckel on the backup. Ray Love, shout out to Ray Love pulling up. What's good with you, man? Easily winning, shake my head. You think we're gonna easily win this one? Okay. I don't think so. I don't think we could sleep on them like that. You think McDaniels had nothing to do with the Patriots' success? You are insane. Oh, they're going at it in the chat. Y'all go ahead, go at it, man. Oh, dang, Pecco was activated. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't like Pecco like that. I don't think he's. Mike says, I support Deuce Gruden at defensive tackle. So do you think their plan was to test this Devontae Carr thing out for 1 year, then get rid of him the next year? I don't really know, man. I don't know what these guys were thinking, Manny. At this point, who knows? Because I'm trying to figure out when the tanking started. Did it start at the beginning of the season? That was the decision? Or was it that we started off bad? We were, 0-3, and then became, now 2-6, and they're like, man, screw this. We just got to go ahead and just tank the season away. So I'm trying to figure out when that decision was made. And then outside of that, we have to ask ourselves, is that potentially what they want to do, is get rid of Carr? And that's why they drew the contract up that way. Because I don't think Carr's that bad of a quarterback. But at this point, I'm really willing to find a new quarterback instead of paying one $30 million and then go invest something on our defense and make sure the defense is stacked. You have weapons on that. Then you'll have weapons on the offense. Your defense will be stacked. You'll have a good weapon. Then you just bring in somebody to facilitate it and don't have to pay $30 million because you probably won't have that much. No D tackles and rookie linebacker recipe for disaster. Exactly. That's true. But it's just our rookie D tackles. Remember, we still have Bilal Nichols and Andrew Billings. Andrew Billings is our main run stopper. But the rookie linebackers, that's going to be a tough one. They're going to have to fill their gaps. They're going to definitely have to be on their reads, man. I'm excited, though. I'm excited to see what they can do. Luke Masterson, was looking good in the preseason. Darian Butler was looking good in the preseason. We were talking about him in training camp. I did the film breakdown on Darian Butler, and I did one on Luke Masterson, I believe. And those guys were out there doing their thing. I definitely like Darian Butler a little bit more just because of what I've seen on the film. But you talk about Luke Masterson, he was able to just be very disciplined, and that's how he was able to, kind of put his name on the map with that interception against the Patriots starters and Mac Jones. So, and he's another guy that used to be a safety that switched to linebacker, but he is definitely a little bit bigger. I think he's like 6'1", like 240. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Julio Coolio. Oh, he's talking to Julio Coolio. He said, "Did we bench Carr yet?" Nah, man. Carr will never get benched. I don't think that'll ever happen. Surprised? We definitely ranking so McDaniels can get some players smart enough to run his scheme, calling the players goofy. In other words, fire McClown. I feel you, man. Mike Morris says, seems like at this point they just want to see what they have to play on the scheme. Yeah, exactly. And that's why you got to get them young guys out there. And that's a whole part of why that offensive line rotation thing was going on. Like you talk about the whole offensive line was getting rotated like they were a wide receiver corps. So maybe they found some guys they like on the offensive line. Do they really like Thayer Mumford that much? On film, Thayer Mumford against the Jags just didn't look that good. Alex Bars, that we already heard about him. 2 live action practices for scout teams. Pretty much. We got the lame ass KC game on instead. Wow. Is that what it is? Shout out to Omar with the super. He says, bro, it's sad the Jets sucked and now they're winning. And it starts with the draft. We don't know how to, and now fans want later like Ravens will trade him. Oh, Lamar. Okay. Now fans want Lamar like Ravens will trade him. Well, the thing is with Lamar, I think he's a free agent after this year. So he has to get a contract done with them or something like that. But I think we have to just build the defense up, man. We have to build the defense up. We can't remain an offensively biased team. I know in the past, I wouldn't say the past 10 years, but I would say since we got Gruden, this team has been offensively biased. There's no way you get rid of a Khalil Mack, and we did, but we also got rid of Cooper. But the fact that we will always trade or try to go get a player that's on the offense side of the ball, like Devontae Adams or Antonio Brown, kind of like says it all. And then we're willing to pay all the guys as well. So you talk about being able to trade for Roquan Smith, being able to trade for Jalen Ramsey, being able to trade for DeForest Buckner, actual good players for the defense. Now, could you imagine the DeForest Buckner and the Khalil Mack? If we would have been a defensive-minded team, we would have kept Mack. And if Buckner would have came available, we would have brought Buckner in. And that right there would have been a solid core. Just those 2 guys alone would have made the defense so vicious that it didn't matter who was playing that defensive back, right? They're going to make guys better at defensive back. And I don't think this team has ever been like defense first. We need to get back to that. Tickler says, I'm going to start watching baseball. Bro, I can't even watch baseball. I'll watch the worst football game before I watch baseball on TV. I'll go to a baseball game. Like I watched the Giants and the A's, watch the DC, watch the Nats and the Diamondbacks before. Shout out to Pizzle. Neither one don't know talent. I'll drop the ball in 30 years in the draft. Yeah, most definitely. The Jags had a 21-point differential before today. Dang. Right. Hopefully you're well, brother. Win streak coming. Stay positive, nation. Shout out to Raider Ben. Yeah, man. Do we really want a win streak? I mean, I guess if we won the rest of our games, what would that make us? 11? Yeah, that'd be different. Winning 9 games straight. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If y'all can, make sure to hit that like button. See if we can get 100 likes, y'all. We should win. There's no way McDaniels doesn't get axed if we lose. You think so? I don't think even if we lose, I don't think anything happens either. Trap game against the Colts, we 2-6. We can't say easy win for any of our games. Exactly. This is a trap game. I actually think so. I agree with you. I'm glad you said that. Because I feel like people are thinking, oh, this team is in shambles because they don't have a head coach. This team is going to struggle because what else? Because what? Because Jeff Saturday is their coach? Their defensive coordinator is Gus Bradley. He's still the same guy. The defense is going to be the same. The defense is going to go out there and play ball. And if you're able to stop our defense, if you're able to stop our offense, I don't know. And you have Jonathan Taylor on the other side of the ball, and you go up against our defense. What makes you think that they're not going to be able to run for a touchdown at least once or twice? I feel like they would probably be able to run on us at least once or twice and score. But their defense, on the other hand, still got the same defensive corner calling plays out there, running the same scheme with the same players. Like it is definitely a game that we could be sleeping on this, and it's bad. Bo Jackson was the largest pick the Raiders made. I mean, let's not forget we were pretty good for a short period of time, and we had some players, man. We did draft Tim Brown. We did draft Charles Woodson. I mean, we had some good players at one point. Tom Brady hates McDaniels, though Bill Belichick wins championships in Tom Brady. Wins championships. I don't know. Tom Brady went over to Tampa and won a championship, but maybe it was just because it was a loaded team. We beating the Colts, going to spank that horse today, real good. That man funny. Brady divorced so he can play in Vegas. I guess that's what I've been hearing, bro. I've been hearing that. I've really been hearing that, bro. Lamar wants like 250, 300 million, not happening. Well, you figure if you pay him 50 million a year, that'd be like say 50 million a year, 6-year contract. They're giving quarterbacks pretty long contracts, but say you give them a 4-year contract, 55 million a year, that'd be like 220 million. Yeah, I don't know about 250, 300. It'd have to be a pretty long contract. That was going to happen. Frank White, Ray, let's talk about it. Give us 2 quarterbacks that you would want the Raiders to draft if they're available in 2023. Right now, I can't really say, man. I got to watch my film before I even speak on it or act like I know. I'll never come up here in front and act like I know what I'm talking about, and I didn't watch the film first. So when you talk about quarterbacks, I got to be real picky. And I'm not a fan of thinking I'm going to solve all problems in one offseason or one season, because I feel like I had put a tweet out and I said, look, I wouldn't mind getting rid of Carr, building the defense and bringing in a young quarterback. Now, when you talk about bringing in a young quarterback, I don't mean we have to go out there and draft a guy in the first five picks. I don't think you have to do that. I think you could go out there and build up a defense. Then if you go out there that season with a stacked defense, you already have weapons on the offense. It doesn't really matter who's at quarterback. We can bring in a journeyman. We could bring in a random quarterback or some random young guy or have Stidham run the offense for a short while. And then that next year, depending on how that season goes, if we do whatever it is, then that next season, you're going for your quarterback. It doesn't have to happen all in one season. And I think that's where people get messed up, because think about it. I feel like this season we're supposed to be better than what we are, right? And we went in on this. We went in this season. We signed all these players. We gave a big contract to Chandler Jones. We gave a contract to Crosby. We went out and traded Yannick and Brandon Rockets in. Then you talk about we signed Carr, Adams, traded for Adams, our first and our second. We did all this stuff to go in and be good, right? This was supposed to be a good football team. And when you try to do that and do everything and jam pack it all in one season, then you're just going to lose like we are now. And it's going to be difficult because your hands are tied with a bunch of contracts. Now you're questioning whether you're going to keep a quarterback or not. Now you're saying they're like, damn, our defense isn't that good. Now we have to build this defense up with the pieces we need. And it's like, well, if you would have just took it slowly, made one off season specifically to build the defense, and then throughout that season, adjust it and stack it to what you need. And then the next offseason, you deal with a different issue. People try to deal with every single issue on a football team in one offseason. It never works. That never works. Show me where that has ever worked. That has never worked to where they were able to solve and fix all their problems in one season. It's never happened. It takes multiple first-round picks. Think about it. It takes multiple first-round picks to be able to do that. And then big-time signings. Everybody does it. You talk about the Eagles defense got stacked up. They drafted Jalen Hurts, 3 years ago now? This is his third year. This is his third season now, I believe. Jalen Hurts, they drafted in the second round, but you talk about they've had good offensive line play. They got their guy in running back Miles Sanders. They traded for AJ Brown. They drafted another first rounder in Devontae Smith. Then you talk about their defense. They went and signed James Bradbury to put with Darius Slay. What other first round picks do they get? Jordan Davis at defensive tackle. They stacked when they already have Fletcher Cox. And you talk about the fact they went and got Nakobe Dean, the linebacker. And they traded for Gardner. That's how you stack a team. That's how you're able to stack. And they didn't do that all in one season. In one season, they addressed their quarterback issue. They also addressed they addressed their offense in one offseason. And then the next offseason, they addressed their defense. They got James Bradbury, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, and Chauncey Gardner in one season. That's how you would deal with that. The season before that, they dealt with their offense. So it's like you can't just do it all in one season, man. It takes multiple. And if we would have just taken our time, even though we suck now, or even though we would have sucked if we would have just took our time and just addressed one issue, it doesn't matter because we still suck now. So that's why you have to take your time. And that's why I think this offseason, we address the defense. We go out there, we draft the best defensive players projected, and we just draft talent. You don't draft, even if we have the position like edge, even if we already have two edge defenders, you still draft. If the best edge defender is available, you still draft that guy. You stack that spot. You talk about the Ravens. The Ravens is still drafting defense, and their defense was already top 3. Their defense was already good. But they still go trade for Roquan Smith, even though they drafted Patrick Queen. They still went and got Kyle Hamilton in the draft. They still went and got Marcus Peters back when he was available. So it's like, dude, you got to keep stacking. And that's what you got to do. It's not going to all happen in one offseason. If we would have just take our time, go ahead and I wouldn't want to say sacrifice the season, but I would say address one thing per season instead of everything. Try to jam pack it all in one season and say, oh, let's go out there and win. Shout out to Omar, man. Appreciate you dropping a super, supporting the channel. If y'all can, make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Shout out to everybody in here. Bro, word is Green Bay was giving us a second for Waller, which they should have done because we need to start getting picks, and he's always hurt, not available. I definitely agree, man. And people that have been following me already know that I was trying to trade that dude last year, right? Through last season, I was like, we could trade Waller, get a first-round pick, because his value was first-round pick value. We could have traded him this offseason, first-round pick, and I wanted to do that. And I know a lot of people that have been following me know that I've been on that train. So it's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, like I'm saying, even if you get rid of Carr, you go into this offseason, damn, Patrick Mahomes done threw another touchdown. That's 4 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes. Holy shit. I got him on my fantasy team, so it just be popping up. You talk about going into this offseason to build the defense, and we could have had an extra first-round pick? We could stack up. Because think about it. We could have guys like Sauce Gardner, right? If we were defensive minded and had go into the draft defensive minded, you could get guys like Sauce Gardner, then turn around and get your defensive tackle. Like we got to stack. Even though we got Nate Hobbs and we have Rocky Sin, still go get a corner. If the best available defensive player is a corner, then you still go get your corner. You have to keep stacking the position. Even though we have edge, you still go get the edge. Don't draft a safety or reach on a safety because we need one. Hell no, I'm not going to do that. I'll get one later then that I like at a different value. Gus Bradley's defense ranked number 5. They're ranked number 5 right now. Right now it says they're ranked 13th. They're 5th in yards, but they're 13th in points right now, I believe. The man talking spicy, he just spanked the horse. Exactly. I was like, yo, he wilding, man. He came in here flaming. He says, shout out We the People. Shout out to 707. It was the rumor that he denied a $220 million contract already. Damn. What? He wants that long term. That rumor was right before the season started. Can't remember exactly when it was mentioned. Sheesh. Sup, Ray? Salute. Shout out to you, Daniel King. Appreciate you pulling up. He says, good seeing you on Wasted Live this morning. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to Wasted for pulling up. Make sure y'all go subscribe to our guy, Wasted. It was a great time being up there. Great talk. Colin Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl and have multiple playoff wins. Yeah, that's true, man. And Colin Kaepernick was no first round pick or anything like that. All it was is that they had a good O-line. They had a running back in Frank Gore. They had a good receiver in Michael Crabtree. They had a good tight end in Vernon Davis, right? They had a very good defense. They had a nucleus in Patrick Willis on the defense side of the ball with Navario Bowman. They had a good defensive line. So you talk about stacking your defense. You talk about having weapons already on the offense. And then in the following season, you address your quarterback problem. But why not go in addressing one issue at a time instead of trying to jam pack it all in one? There are lots of good D tackles that are hitting free agency next year. Yeah, I was looking, but which D tackles are you thinking, man? I don't think Daron Payne's going to hit free agency. I honestly don't think he's going to hit free agency. Why do we have to get rid of Carr? So the reason we don't have to. We don't have to. We definitely don't have to get rid of Carr. But what I would say is it would be easier to build up the team if you got rid of Carr. It would just be easier. It is that simple. You got to pay him $30 million next year. You got to pay him $30 million. Now you could restructure, but that ruins the team in the long term. And that means you're giving yourself a window to win it. That means you're giving yourself a win. You have to understand when you restructure, you're pushing money owed now. You're basically pushing it to the future. So you may pay him less now, but say he's off the team, you're still going to be paying him money when he's off the team. So that's what happens when you talk about when people say you could restructure. So you're basically giving yourself a window of opportunity because you're going to run out of that cap here in the near future. I don't want to be doing that with Carr. I honestly don't. I understand that, and I'm not saying that because he's a bad, because I think he's a bad quarterback. I don't think so. But there's instances to where I've seen he's just too inconsistent, and I would rather not pay $30 million. I'd rather use that $30 million to go get like two prime defensive players. Maybe one's a defensive tackle, and then another one's a corner. Stack up, or another one's a linebacker. Because people were trying to tell me, well, you trade for Roquan Smith and you have to pay him $15 or $18 million a year. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, and Derek Carr gets $30 million. We could sign him. If you got rid of Derek Carr, you could sign Roquan Smith and then use the other 10 to 15 million to sign another guy, another corner, a safety, a defensive tackle. So who's your choice of quarterback to draft? What round would you draft him if available? I have to really look at the film and check out these quarterbacks, man. But at the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of, like I've been saying, I'm not trying to change all the problems in one offseason. I'm trying to change one problem at a time per offseason. If we could go out there with Stidham and build the defense in this one offseason, I'm down for that. Use all the draft picks on defense, get a D tackle, get a safety, or just the best available defensive player, no matter what. Even if it's edge and we got two edge, you still go get that guy. You still go get that guy. You can't go wrong with too many good players on the team. And I think that's kind of where we got away from. We keep trying to draft guys to fulfill a need when it's almost like you're skipping out on good players because you're trying to fulfill this one specific need. Tony Collins, shout out to you, man. He says, I'm with you, Ray. I think try to get Huntley for cheap in free agency and build the D through the draft. You talking about Huntley, the quarterback? Yeah, build the D through the draft, yeah, and free agency, man. We need some proven NFL talent. If we could trade for a guy, I would love to do it. What the hell does Cap have anything to do with anything? I think he was just talking about a team like built with talent and defense, and you just bring a random guy in. Dang, they have that Kyler scramble against the Raiders in the Hard Knocks trade. I bet, bro. That was terrible. That was a terrible setup for us, man. Shout out to Pyro in the building. Michael Turner, you're talking good sense. We need more good players, most definitely, bro. Stroud, 34 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Hey, I hear you, man. I just got to check it out first. And another thing is, how tall is Stroud? How tall is Stroud? I don't like short quarterbacks. I like quarterbacks that are like 6'3" or taller, at least 6'3". Because usually linemen are like 6'6", around 6'3", 6'4". CJ Stroud, height and weight. CJ Stroud is 6'3", 218. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, Bryce Young is out of the question. Bryce Young is out of the question. CJ Stroud we may look at. Bryce Young is 6 foot, 195 pounds. I'm good off of that. I'm cool off that, man. I'm cool off that. We're not as bad as our record rate. We got pieces. We're a quarterback and good draft away from a good team. Well, this is the thing, though. All I'm saying, you're saying this is what I'm saying. You're saying we got good pieces. We're a quarterback and a good draft away from being a good team. So we're a quarterback and a good draft. So how do you differentiate the two? Because if you're saying you need a quarterback or you're getting a quarterback in that draft, that's all I'm saying. Steve O says, Raider Nation, what quarterback other than Stroud, Young would y'all draft? I do agree that defense would be priority. I don't want Young. I already know I don't want Young. I don't even have to watch film on him to know I don't want Young. I do not want a small quarterback. Bryce Young is 6 foot, 195 pounds. 6 foot, 195 pounds. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't go 6 foot, 195 pounds. I'm cool off of that. Look at this. That's no good. It's no bueno. If you go back, CJ Stroud, 6'3", 218. That's cool right there. And he's from Cali. Let's get it. He was born in Cali. Let's go. Adam Sweeney. If he didn't get hurt, he was still going to quit football, so he probably would have been one of the best players. Are you talking about Bo Jackson? Y'all arguing about them dudes. According to our offensive-minded coach, Waller's always hurt, but still too valuable to trade. Yeah, that's that's what's frustrating, bro. You know, Mike. I was trying to get Waller traded last year, Mike. You know it. We have 11 or 12 picks now. We will move up the way this season is so putrid. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll be able to trade some picks and hopefully get higher in the draft. We need to draft a solid D tackle, exactly. Just all defense. Even today, none is a threat like Bo. Oh man, y'all still going in there? Y'all still going in there? Damn, how are the Donkos? The Donkos beating the Titans? Probably because of being able to stop them. Broncos defense probably be able to put some work in. Let's take a look at these scores real quick. We got what do we have? What do we have? Panthers game, yeah. The Bucks barely beat the Seahawks. The Dolphins up 30-17 on the Browns. 24-17. Bears on top of the Lions. Oh, the Titans are winning. Says the Titans are winning. Mike? The Titans must have just scored. 14-10. Titans. Bills 27-17. Chiefs 27-10 to the Jags. Giants beating the Titans. Steelers on top of the Saints. And then you got the rest of the games here. The Chargers play the Niners today. Is that prime time? Chargers and Niners today? Primetime game? G says, this game lost all meaning. Win or lose, doesn't matter. Where is this team even headed? Exactly, man. I don't think this game has much substance to it. It's hard to really even talk about this game. Frisco had a monster defense. Yeah, exactly. And they continue. And that's the thing. You have a monster defense and you keep adding pieces so it never falls off. That's the point. The new player that comes on embraces that culture on the defense, learns from that defense, all those veterans, and you keep stacking and stacking and stacking, and you never lose it. Because you think about the Niners, man, they kept drafting guys. They keep doing it until they hit or until it's time for them to step in and somebody steps out. They got Patrick Willis, and all of a sudden they get Fred Warner. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? They got DeForest Buckner. They draft Eric Armstead. They draft DeForest Buckner, Nick Bosa. They keep drafting guys even though they already have guys. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how you stay stacked. The Raiders don't have a quarterback problem. The Raiders don't have a quarter. The thing is, we do have a quarterback problem. And it's not because of Carr, it's because of his contract. Now, if Carr wants to get paid like half of what he's getting, then let's do it. Isn't Deron Payne scheduled to be a free agent? Yeah, but he can still be signed. He could probably go back. But if he is a free agent, we got to do it. We got to do it. No excuses. Look, this is if we do not get Deron Payne in free agency, if we don't go out there and get him, I'll be highly disappointed. I'd be highly disappointed. Him and Andrew Billings with Chandler and Max have to be productive. I mean, they have to. If not, then I don't even know what to tell you guys, man. That'd be disappointing. I would go as far as say sign Deron Payne, draft the defensive tackle in the first round, or the best available defensive player in general, even if it's an edge. I would still do that. I want to see Kuntz get some burn though. Pizzle says he's not 30 million. Yeah, he's not worth 30 million. We can't do it. We can't afford that. Cannot afford that. Someone says agreed. Yeah. Carr is too inconsistent. Yeah. You watch the film and you talk about the Jaguars, right? Do you guys remember how many times did we get a guy running at Trevor Lawrence? He makes a guy miss and he makes a throw. Then you talk about Derek Carr. He's able to make a guy miss, hit Devontae Adams for a 1st and 20, first down. Then you talk about he's able to hit him down for a touchdown, get 2 touchdowns. He's about to get his 3rd touchdown, then he misses his throw. Then he disappears the rest of the game. Then he just starts taking sacks. He starts running into defenders, and it's not even because the offensive line is really blocking so horribly. It's more of him running into the sack and then him just thinking it's fight or flight all the time. He thinks because the one side of the pocket is collapsing that he has to take off running when really he just has to take a couple steps, slide a couple steps to the left, and just throw it. So, I'm telling you, man, especially when you watch the film, it's like, bro, when you watch the film, it's kind of disheartening because it's like, dog, we could make something happen, but you're just not. Sue stats going down. I'm good off Sue. I never wanted to get him. Adam Sweeney says, do you stay live during the game? I don't, man. I usually go watch the game. I usually dip out, go watch the game, man. We are who our record says we are. Get the F out of here. Our coach cannot leave, and our quarterback is a limited pocket passer. That's what I'm saying. I agree, G. I agree. I don't know if Josh McDaniels is a leader, but I think he could still coach and have a winnable team. I think he'd be able to stack up a good team. And if he's not able to win, then he'd get fired. Another coach come in and win with his team. That may be what happens. I wouldn't be surprised. We should get 2 picks in round 1. Raiders need to make it happen. Exactly, Snyder. That's what I want to happen. I want the Raiders to get 2 picks in the first round. Go out there and get 2 defensive players. Yes. Trade what you need to get 2 first-round picks, because I know we have a bunch of picks. And go out there and get 2 first-round picks, get 2 defensive players, and whatever you want to do, go get your offensive lineman. I'm sure people are gonna gripe and complain and moan that we need to get offensive linemen. But yeah, that would be lovely, Snyder. I would love to do that. Ruben Russ in the building. He says it's sad to think Harmon was a rotational piece in his prime, but a top 5 player as an old. Yeah, man. Like, bro, what? Deron Harmon is our playmaker on defense. Like, that's sad. That's really sad. Carr is hot and cold, good and bad. Yeah, he is. He really is. Yeah, he really is. The way he plays, it's unfortunate, man. Ray, would you rather take the top linebacker or D tackle at 3 or trade the pick? I would definitely take the top D tackle. I'm definitely taking the top D tackle. Yeah, that should be an easy one, right? That was the easy one, yeah. I'm taking the D tackle, man. Because you talk about stacking that defensive line, it does matter, but it helps all the defensive backs. If you stack that D line, it's going to make the rest of the defensive backs better. It's going to make your linebackers better. Your defensive line is going to eat up a lot of blocks and a lot of space, so your linebackers are going to be able to fill gaps and holes and be able to get to the runner better. So I feel like it just makes the rest of the team stand up, and that's where it starts in the trenches. And if you're able to just continue to stack the defensive line, It'll take you to the next level, man. Broncos are losing. Yeah, good thing. Good thing they're losing. But at the same time, shit, I ain't even. At this point, they might as well win. So then they get a worse draft pick. He said, "Man, Alec Ingle has a touchdown." Wow. Defense wins championships. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Cards made almost $500 million for one 12-4 season and one playoff appearance. Tony Romo. He said Tony Romo. Yo, Tony Romo was a little different though. Tony Romo would just get hurt, but Carr, he hasn't really been hurt. He's just, I don't know, inconsistent at this point. What's good with you, Jason? Appreciate you pulling up. Cody in the building. He says, "What are we talking about? These coaches can coach proven talent, and you expect them to coach college players? Come on, man." Yeah, that's a good logic right there. That's a good way to think about it. DC is a great guy, but he will never be good enough to win us a Super Bowl, and it's not fair to him with all the instability and no structure over there. Yeah, I definitely understand that, but at the same time, people will say, "Well, how can you trust this regime, or how can you trust a regime to develop a quarterback?" And it's like, well, we got Carr, right? We got Carr. He's a second round talent quarterback, and apparently the regime that we had that drafted him was able to develop him. So at some point, you're gonna have to figure something out. Like, we need linebackers, and there are really no free agents coming out. Yeah, I wouldn't draft a lot. If the defensive tackle, like a top defensive tackle, is there, I'm going to take him if the talent is better than what it is at linebacker. I'm not going to reach on a guy just because I need it at a certain position. You don't trade it for a position. You got to trade for. You got to draft for talent. That's what I meant to say. You can't draft for a position. You got to draft for talent. It's kind of like you draft because like you trade for talent too. Jalen Carter from Georgia was known for being the best defender on that team when they had Dean Walker and Davis and won the Natty. He's compared a lot to Quentin Williams and projected to go top 5. Yeah, exactly. I remember watching a film on Georgia last year, and I seen like, yo, who's number 88? That's the best guy, and it said he wasn't coming out, and not surprised that it was Jalen Carter. Ray, do you think we will draft a quarterback? Nah, I hope not. At least not in the top like 3 rounds. Hope not in the top 3 rounds. Maybe in the round 3. I might take one in round 3, but I want all defense to start. I want all defense to start. I wouldn't mind the O lineman in the third either. Like a guard or something like that. 2 first-round picks, get 2 more running backs. Oh man, don't say that. Don't say that, bro. E. Maney with a good question. He says, out of all the coaches Carr had, which one would you have kept? Out of all the coaches, just coaching, I would say Gruden. If Gruden was just the coach, I would say Gruden, and I wouldn't make and I would have made Reggie McKenzie the GM. Yeah. I would have made Reggie McKenzie the GM, and I would have made Gruden the coach. That way, McKenzie would have made all the decisions, and then Gruden would have just stuck to coaching. Because I would have believed that McKenzie would have got him weapons in offense. Yeah, he would have got it right, especially with Gruden and the coach. They probably would have bumped heads, but they would have figured some shit out. Lose today, cut bait with. Yeah, we're not firing Josh McDaniels, man. Except the money loss, Davis can make up his losses with legit coach and playoff appearances. Sucks, but we were here. But where we are, yeah, that's the thing. Gruden, McDaniels ain't going nowhere. Mike says, when's the last time we took a top defensive tackle? When's the last time? I don't know, man. The Raiders first round draft picks. Let's see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find this. That's a good question. That's a good question. Y'all let me know down in the chat. Y'all let me know down in the chat. When's the last time we took a top defensive tackle? When's the last time we took a D tackle in the first round? Who was that? That wasn't Kelly, was it? We didn't take him in the first round. Yo, when's the last time we took a defensive tackle? Darrell Russell. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, y'all. So you talk about a defensive tackle, DB, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker. Okay, DN, Tyler Brayton. Good God Almighty. Look, place kicker, Sebastian Janikowski. First round pick, kicker, place kicker. That's crazy. Mo Hurst wasn't a first rounder. Darrell Russell, second overall pick, 1997. It's been 25 years since we've drafted a defensive tackle in the first round. And then with the number 4 pick, we took Charles Woodson. That's how you stack defense, baby. That's how you stack defense. No wonder our defense was so damn good. You had Charles Woodson and Darrell Russell. Interesting. Just looking at our draft picks, I just remember these guys: Michael Huff, Fabian Washington, Jamarcus Russell, Darren McFadden, Darius Hayward-Bay. Remember Rolanda McClain, DJ Hayden. These are bad draft picks. DJ Hayden. What the hell did we draft DJ Hayden 12th for? What the hell did we do that for? Khalil Mack, beast. Amari Cooper, beast. Then we shit the bed over here. My gosh, this was terrible drafting. Look at this terrible drafting. Alex Leatherwood, Damon Arnett, Henry Ruggs, Jonathan Abram. Oh boy, Cleveland Farrell and Josh Jacobs. Sheesh. Shout out to our guy Sean dropping a super. Appreciate you supporting the channel, brother. He says, leave it to our coaches to bench Cleveland Farrell, 2 of our best run stoppers today. This coaching staff is a joke. Sean, I hear you, man. I definitely hear you, man. Tough break for us. But hey, on the upside, Sean, let's look out for 2 guys, number 58 and number 50. Hold on. What number is Masterson? 55, right? So number 55 and 58. We're looking at Masterson and Darian Butler. So, Sean, let's look at them. Those are 2 rookies that are able to come out here and get some burn. Hopefully, be able to actually get some burn. Jack Del Rio was a cancer and a narcissist. Musgrave is why we succeeded. Then Del Rio fired him and caused Woodson to quit as our DB coach. Then we went right back to mediocrity. Yeah, man, Del Rio, damn, that's a crazy way to think about it. That's a crazy way to think about it. Let me see, Rod Woodson. Yeah, they fired him in 2017. Yeah, they fired him in 2017. Interesting. Trade up, AR taken 22. JK says, we suck, first round trade down. Hayden had a heart issue when we drafted him. Yeah, he did. And that was the thing. Why were we drafting these guys that were having injury problems? Like, you remember Carl Joseph did, DJ Hayden did. And I was like, yo, why are we drafting these guys? It's kind of weird. That draft recap makes me depressed. LOL, no wonder we haven't been consistently good. Exactly, bro. That is a tough one. Okay, 59, my fault, 59. Graham Ken, Darian Butler, my little cousin about to do his Dougie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, Cam, pulling up on us. Appreciate it, man. Yo, I've been up here for an hour, y'all. Yeah, Mo Hurst did too. He did have a problem, man. If y'all can, make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Let's see if we can get 100 likes. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see this thing real quick, bro. How many likes we got on this? How many likes we got on this one? Let me see real quick. How many likes we got on this? On this joint right here. We got 100 likes. We got 79 likes. Damn, that's dirty. Y'all doing me dirty right now. Yeah, Rod Woodson was a defensive back coach. Yeah, rate them likes, y'all. As the season, as the season is on life support, I can't wait for the draft season so that we could talk about mock drafts from our team and tape breakdowns. Yeah, exactly, bro. I can't wait for that. That's one of the best season out. Healing Power says next decade we might get it right. Oh man, don't say that. That's tough. Rate them likes, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Julio Coolio says, what if it comes out that Mark Davis has been the one drafted for 10 years? Oh my goodness. And he's the reason why we don't want to get rid of Carr or something like that. Dang, that'd be wild. Danico Autry's doing good. Yeah, they are getting sacks elsewhere. Exactly. Yo, so we got the wild chats up in here, man. So we've been up here for an hour. Appreciate everybody that's here. If y'all can, make sure to hit that like button on the way out. Check out Redemption Band. We do got new styles in stock, so make sure to check it out. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Pull up post game most definitely. Then we'll have a little bit to talk about because I know we didn't talk about this game too much because look, the season is where it is. We're playing the Colts. So if we're going to go out there and play the Colts, then I expect to win. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we did lose because they do have Jonathan Taylor. They have a rookie quarterback that'll just sling it all over the field. They have a coach that has nothing to lose. And their defense still has the same defensive coordinator and is still basically a top 10 defense. So I'm just saying, y'all. Be warned. I have warned you. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure to hit that like button on the way. I appreciate y'all. Check out the post game. Until next